Hi everybody, it's Shirley here from Coldwell Banker West, and we're cruising around IB today. And we're in one of the hubs of IB, an iconic spot called Katy's Cafe. And Katy, the owner, has been here day and night for the last 14 years. It's a beloved place. We'll show you some pictures inside with local artists contributing, and very much a hub place. And it's under new ownership. And we're going to interview today PJ McCannis, and he not only is the new owner, he and his family have all worked here for years, and we're very close to Katy. And I think he said one of the reasons you bought it is because the customers were so bummed out that they were going to lose their place, their home.
Yeah, Katy's is a very unique place, and there was no place like it in IB. And it was going to disappear. So we didn't want that to happen for us and for the community. So
yeah. So you bought it. And you've been in this transition right in the middle of COVID. You bought it.
Yes.
And you've been in this transition with a 2-year-old and a baby born in June at home, and your wife. You're very brave.
I'm very tired.
I'm very tired. And he said he had about 3 hours sleep last night, and he's got a little one teething at home as well. So I think you're doing really well. Anyway, yeah, so this is this unique place that you've worked in and you love, and bought in the middle of COVID. Tell us, what did you guys do through the transition? Katy, perhaps yourself, your employees. What did you do to go above and beyond to keep your doors open, to keep your staff going, to keep this place going during COVID? How did you deal with it?
Well, one of the things that we were concerned about was there's a lot of changing regulations, which makes things very difficult for a business, especially one that serves food. We are very fortunate that, unlike a lot of other restaurants, we have outdoor seating available. And so we consolidated our indoor seating for when indoor seating is allowed, and it is allowed and has been allowed since we're reopened. But having the outdoor seating is a huge plus.
And this back patio that we're on right now, we're right there and the ocean's right in front of us, and it's just...
and that ocean breeze is fantastic.
It's lovely, yeah, it's very good.
The other thing is making sure that we are complying with all the health orders, not just for the government's sake and making the government happy, but making sure that people feel safe, because COVID is scary, and a lot of people feel uncomfortable and unwell just in these times. And so providing them a safe space where they know it's clean, where they know we're taking the proper appropriate measures to make sure that they're safe and we're safe, it goes a long way to finding some level of normalcy in these weird times.
And on your breakfast times, they are lined up outside, out the door, around the corner, and doing their social distancing, and everybody's wearing their masks, and we're 6 feet apart now, and we sat down. Like people can do at their tables, and I think it's good. IB and Coronado too, both kind of areas I work in. We don't have many cases, but people are good. They really follow the rules, and I think we're seeing the benefits of that. So we get to stay open, our small businesses.
Which is very vital. I haven't verified this, but the stats that I was hearing is 1 in 5 businesses was closed because of COVID. And that is an incredibly terrible number. Thankfully, we are able to make it, and that's 100% because of the community here in IB. I've lived here all my life, and so I've known that the locals were really big on locals. Very introspective community. I did not realize until I was a business owner how much the locals cared about local small business.
Which you said was part of the silver cloud for you.
That was mind-blowing, and it brought tears to my eyes on multiple occasions. We've had letters that customers have given us on like how excited and happy they are, and passionately touched that they are that we are still open. We have a lot of people who weather here in Imperial Beach from other places in the U.S. During the summer, where it's cooler here compared to where they're at. And a lot of people were afraid that when they got here that Katy's was going to be gone, because that's what's going on everywhere. But thank God we're still here. We're still serving. We haven't changed much. it's been a really good last couple months since we reopened.
That's phenomenal, because here we are with maybe perhaps 1 out of 5 businesses closing, and yet you bought a business in the middle of a pandemic, albeit a business that you worked in and you know.
Yeah.
But still, that's a big risk to take over that, to give Katy that break to what's next for her life.
Yeah.
And she's went to Cardiff, which is lovely. For any of you watching and wondering where did Katy go, and she's doing her next adventure, her next chapter, which is wonderful. She's worked very hard here for many years, building this place. And yeah, it's to do that and to flourish and to feel the heartfelt feelings from customers. And that's one of the things I love about IB. I've lived here a couple of years as well, and it's so community oriented. People are so friendly here, and it's becoming, as Coronado, a tourist place now.
Yeah.
People are coming from all over the world, and there's vacation rentals, and they're staying in IB, and then they have their local hubs. Oh, let's go to that cute Katy's Cafe, and we're back home, and these kind of the things we hear from people, and they love it. You were also saying part of the silver lining is what's going on inside. Like, talk about, and we'll show some pictures of the art and the contributions that clients have made here.
So one thing I wasn't aware of, I kind of knew, but I never asked until Katy and I started really talking about the place and transitioning, was how much the community has invested in Katy's over the years. Most of the artwork, most of the little doodads and souvenir-like things have been provided by customers. It's their little mark on this gem of IB. And there's stories behind all of them. They've filmed TV shows here. People have been engaged here. I think a couple of people actually got married here.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, a lot has happened. Katy used to throw as well a surf competition back in the day that we do want to resurrect, but the community is heavily invested in this, and that was before we bought the place. When they saw the doors were open again, there's silence on the cell phone. But when they saw that we were open again, the doors were open. We hadn't even blasted it on social media or anything. They just saw that the door was open, and they came en masse. They were completely ecstatic that we were back. They shared every single one of their stories. I've met some of the people in the paintings. I've met some of the people who have they have stories behind every single little doodad. The lady who gave there's a little bikini frog on the table here. She's actually provided a lot of our plants, and she has taken the responsibility of being our green thumb. And she's done a fantastic job. Community investment is huge here, and it was ironic because what I wanted to do with Katy's was invest in the community, and I didn't realize how much it goes the other way as well.
The community is invested in Katy's. That's beautiful. So if you want to say to the people out there watching this on IB Happenings and everywhere else, and through all of our social media channels, what's next for Katy's or where you're at, what do you want to provide? That's the new owner. What do you want to say to them out there?
We just want to serve you guys in any way that we can. One of the things that we want to do, because we realize that there's a lot more people in IB later in the day than there was a couple of years ago. We have our hours, we're open later than we historically have been. So instead of closing at 1 or 2, which has been the standard for the last couple of years, we're closing at 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
We want to, while the kitchen currently closes at 2 every day, we want to offer a special menu for afternoons, both drinks and food, so that we can give a little bit of extra to the community. A lot of people are hungry.
Especially coming out of that ocean. Get some afternoon tea, as they do in the UK.
I was really surprised. I thought I was buying a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Not a restaurant, but that part I didn't count on. So we're trying to make changes to make that the kitchen more flexible for serving more people, having healthier options, which has been definitely a huge request from the community. And yeah, maybe throwing parties and stuff at night, live music.
Oh,
Lots of fun
there
stuff.
you got it. A great little spot here. We're right by the ocean, so it's pretty unique. So, yeah, come on down to Katy's Cafe, which is really Katy's restaurant, and meet PJ and his wife, and probably the same staff that's been here. And
Couple people, yeah.
yeah, so that's good. And let's go with that next generation, that next evolution of what's going. And you're keeping the name Katy's.
Of course.
Yes.
I am not nearly as interesting as Katy is. If we changed out all the paintings with the surf and kept the surf theme, it would be a bunch of overturned boards in the ocean. It'd be covered by. I'm not nearly the kind of surfer Katy is.
Yeah, well, you've got Little Mermaid still in the back, so
Yes.
yes. So cruising around IB at Katy's Cafe with PJ, our new owner, and looking forward to coming and having some really good healthy food and seeing and maybe having some live music
It'll be fun.
in an afternoon. Thanks so much, PJ.
No problem.
Yeah.